Good evening, everyone. This is Doretha Sampson, and this is my PowerPoint presentation. Um, the actual topic was talking about um, policies for at risk and homeless, but I actually kind of went a different way with this, and we'll go into that in just a moment. Moving forward, this is a pretest that we'll review at the end of this presentation. These are some questions that I developed based on this presentation. And this is a brochure. I found the brochure, but I actually kind of made up a couple slogans with it. But I mean, of course, you could find these slogans probably similar, but this is just something I did. I just pulled up the brochure and just typed it up. But help stop homelessness, be aware, help others, and show them you care. Moving forward, this is what it sort of looks like homeless people today, but there are people that are homeless that you wouldn't even think are homeless. They live with people, but they are still considered homeless because they don't have their own place. And this is what the definition talks about. And just another point I wanted that's in the beginning of this PowerPoint, but what I also wanted to just hit on real quick, that's in 2017-18. Students who are homeless that attended public schools in North Carolina was a figure of 28,903. That actually in the 18-19 school year actually went up to 34,765, which is sad, knowing that all these kids are out there with not a place of their own and still having to attend school. Moving on, Joy Markowitz. This is one of the references to my research. Talks about how administrators would prefer to group homeless students who are disabled, but by law, they're supposed to receive the free, suitable public education and the least restrictive environment, and expresses that students receive education services to benefit from special education in the least restrictive environment, which most which means regular education classes or special education classes, depending on what their IEP states. And the last one pretty much talks about how whatever services they're getting, whatever the goals, objectives, all these things need to be taken into account and done because legally, as the educator and as the district that's working with these children, we're we're required to make sure these children are getting the best education possible, and that actually goes into talking about FAP, free, appropriate public education, and idea. That is their big part, making sure that these programs and everything is being provided legal in the legal aspect correctly, and these children are not being, you know, misrepresented. It. That's why it's important that everybody on the IEP team, the individual education plan, come together and make a plan that's suitable for the student that everybody on the team understands, and that includes the parents. What I wanted to talk about right here is how special education is not a place, it's what we do. Like we provide transportation, we provide, um, like we work with partnership here in Robeson County, and they provide programs. Like we just had a program this past school year, which was really wonderful. The kids loved it. Where a representative came in once a week and provided activities about healthy foods. Oh, the kids enjoyed it. They enjoyed fruits and vegetables and juices, and it was a good time. And we also provide, accommodations and modifications that is needed. That really goes back to the IEP. Uh, and that's why it's important for parents and teachers to really collaborate and the IEP team to collaborate so you know what's going on with this child inside and outside the classroom because you never know what's happening outside this child's life. And as I just talked about the FAP and the idea, there's three programs here I listed, but the two I'm really looking at is the second and third one. The second one talks about how their agencies got together and they help provide a safe, stable, nurturing home for women that are pregnant or who have small children or who are at risk of being homeless. And the last one is, one that was discussed in a article by Matt Shipman, and he had an interview, and it was called Action Plan for Early Education. that is a program that assists homelessness in people's lives, that provides benefits and needed aid, and it protects and helps educate parents and children. Okay, and this is my post test. The first question centers around, is homeless mean with we know means without permanent dwelling. Can you list two other ways a family students can be considered homeless? And if you remember from the previous slide, we talked about, if they're living with friends and family for a temporary time, or in a shelter, motel, car, all of these can be considered being homeless. The percentage rate for youth 6 and under who live in shelters is 52.8%, and that is sad to say. And it also talks about, is homeless students who are risk, are they at risk for health, mental, academic, cognitive development delays? And yes, they are, because they're not receiving the appropriate care uh, that they should be receiving. And that's why it's important for us to, as a unit, to come together and help these students and these parents understand the resources and services that's available out here for them, and help them hopefully find a safe place to sleep in, and get that needed help, medical help, and whatever help they need. And the question here: are parents with students who are homeless have the right to join an IEP? And I'm not sure if I added this in the slide. I'm just thinking about this. But the answer is yes. In my research paper, I do discuss how it doesn't matter if a parent is homeless, or if they're a recovering addict, alcoholic, whatever the case. They have the same rights as any parent who isn't homeless or anything like that, to be in an IEP meeting. And another fun fact that I wanted to bring up is, if a parent is in a homeless shelter, they can even request that the homeless shelter's director be an advocate for them when meeting with IEP team. So that's just a little bit of data that I wanted to share. Okay, these are just my references, and I just want to thank everybody for watching. I appreciate it. This is a little picture I found on Bing. If I appreciate everybody, and hope you have a great day. Thank you.